It's a nice T-shirt.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to...
I thought it said in your, and then I
No.
couldn't see the bottom, but I didn't see the F. And it's find your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. You can go your own way.
Exactly.
Do you feel like they're singing to you?
I've always felt like they had like a poignant message specifically for me. You know, you're talking about go your own way. You know,
can go your own way.
You never break the chain. All these things apply directly to me.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Empty Promise podcast. My name is Chris and tonight I am joined on episode 69 of the podcast by my very best friend in the whole wide world, Mr. James D. Downey.
Hello.
Big D, as it were. Thank you for joining me on what has been a 2-week hiatus from we last done this. I'm so glad to have you back next to me.
Feels right.
Staring into your eyes.
It feels right.
Thank you everybody for finding this podcast and joining us on what is the 8th of December.
Christmas is coming up on us by.
This is Little Christmas in the South. Did you know that?
Little Christmas?
Yeah, this is what they count as Little Christmas. The 8th is like their big shopping day.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Little Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's like a holiday maybe in the South. I don't know.
I don't think so, is it?
No, I don't know. Yeah, it's like an unofficial holiday anyway.
It's like Black Friday.
I have a very bad, on this day, because I don't know this. 1932, garden designer Gertrude Jekyll dies.
But she will be sorely missed.
Can you tell me somebody else who was also famously killed on this day?
On the 8th?
Yep.
Of December?
Yep.
Famously killed?
1980.
Was it Princess Di?
No.
I'd always complete shot in the dark.
No, I mean, why not?
She's famous and she's dead.
And she's dead, yeah. Try musician.
Oh. Elvis?
No.
No, 80, way too late.
No, Try assassinated too.
John Lennon?
John Lennon, there we go. 8th of December 1980, John Lennon was shot 5 times by 25-year-old Mark Chapman outside the Dakota building in New York City, where John and Yoko lived. Chapman had been waiting for Lennon outside the Dakota apartments since mid-morning, and he had asked for an autograph earlier in the day. Lennon was pronounced dead from massive loss of blood at 11:30 p.m.
By God.
There we go. Just,
I wonder, was that just an just a crime of passion, or was there a conspiracy behind that, Chris?
Oh, some might say it was quite a conspiracy. Maybe he's not dead.
Think about it.
Maybe he's like Avril Lavigne living out selling mattresses.
Or fellow Beatle, Paul McCartney.
He's not dead.
He's not dead, but
no.
There's a different...
Some people think he is dead.
He is dead. He died. Well, this Paul McCartney. It's James Paul. So it's James Paul McCartney. So James McCartney is dead.
That's right, yeah.
Paul McCartney is here. That's how it worked out.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still very confused with that whole thing. But I do have a list for you, D, because I bring you useless lists.
You need a list.
Week. Here are 10 uses for plasticine.
Okay.
As modelling clay. So
fair enough.
The norm. As a less effective blue tack. To remove fluff from something that needs defluffing.
Yes.
There you go. To pick up nasty little slivers of broken glass.
Smart.
You know, just put it down. For blocking up small holes in plasterboard walls. I don't know how. I mean,
I can see how that would work.
Yeah, is it watertight? Maybe. I don't know. For making Morph, who used to appear on Take Heart. Don't know what that is. But you know Morph.
Morph? No. Morph?
Morph. The wee like stop motion animated Morph. He's just like a wee brown.
He's just like a wee
guy.
he's like a stick man, except he's a clay man.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly
it.
Gotcha. To win Oscars.
Oh right. So which one won an Oscar?
Can you tell me? Do you know what it is?
Well, it would have to be Wallace and Gromit.
There you go. The only stop motion that I think I know, basically. Yeah.
What one was it?
As Nick Park did with Wallace and Gromit. I don't know. To win Oscars. Did they win? It must have been, the movie Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was a very good movie. I went to the cinema to see that movie.
Did you actually?
Yeah, with my family. Yeah, it was one of the rare times our whole family went to the cinema. I went to see that. Yeah,
there you go.
The other was
Die Hard.
Yeah, a fun family affair. It was actually A Time to Kill.
12 Years a Slave. Highly recommended.
Get out.
Fun for all the family.
For making molds for plaster casts, for making an emergency false mustache as part of a disguise intended only to be viewed from a distance. To make imprints of coins and other stuff just for the fun of it, and as one of those anti-stress squeezing toys.
Oh, there you go. I wonder, could you make like a key mold and then like clone the key? Or
don't people in like prisons and stuff do that?
Yes. I'm not sure.
Or else my perception of what of what people do in prisons is severely diluted.
Prison Break was not a documentary. Turns out.
No, turns out. Am I crackling a bit in your ear? I'm crackling in my own ear.
You're crackling. No, not too bad actually.
No, I'm just going to turn these down a little bit.
You're whacking it, crackling, backing it.
So that's a useless list.
And it lives up to its name.
It really does. We have some news to get through before we obviously jump into the conspiracy podcast.
Yeah, Conspiracy Podcast Part 2.
Part 2. And D, believe it or not, three separate people have come to us and told us that this one should be the big 9/11 one.
Oh yeah?
I'm so sorry to disappoint you guys. It's not. We're building up to that though.
I've told people that this is going to be the big 9/11. And for that I apologize.
You probably told the three separate people.
Probably have, yeah. It's like, go tell Chris.
I'm so incredibly sorry. But we're just going to keep you on your toes, keep listening. You enjoyed the first one so much that we're coming with a second. And we'll build up to that big one because a lot of people want to know what happened in 9/11 or hear our views on what happened in 9/11. I love the way
they'll finally find out.
Final, yeah.
Come here.
We've done our research the last fucking,
report.
what, like 8 years, 9 years? How many years is it? 20 years? I don't know.
17
years. There you go. But D, before we jump into... Actually, let's do a little bit of news first of all.
Okay.
Because there's very light news this week.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Game of the Year awards.
Happened.
Yeah. Take it away. Take it away with the full roundup.
Did you watch it? Did you watch
No,
them? Did you leak? Literally all I know, and it's because you told me, is that we had the winner for Game of the Year award.
Yeah, 100%.
Was the fabulous and tremendous God of War.
Yeah, 100%. So happy to see that because I was damn near sure when we called out the thing that night.
It was Red Dead.
It was Red Dead. Had to get it.
I thought it was Red Dead all the way. I'm so surprised, but like out of the games I've played out of that list, God of War was the best. So.
Have you played Red Dead yet?
Nope.
No, me either.
Nope.
This is the non-Red Dead podcast, I think we should call it. Let's rebrand.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure we should call this one the Conspiracy Podcast.
Oh, yeah, no, I just mean that as a whole. Welcome to the XA Gaming.
Funny enough, we were in CX today, and I seen...
In sex. It's called sex.
Fuck off, no.
It's called sex.
Nope.
That's what's advertised at.
No.
Sex.
I refuse. I will never call it that.
Episode 69 of the podcast, you have to give it this one.
The sex podcast. Right, okay, fair enough.
We definitely missed a beat.
I was in CX last sex.
Okay.
And we seen like a
Is this the one in Belfast?
This is the one in Belfast.
It's a good one.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of retro games, which I enjoy.
They do. They have a whole like aisle, not aisle, but like
section.
Yeah, display.
Box. Yeah.
Dedicated to GameCube games and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, But anyway, we seen like a lot of Red Dead copies sitting there, like traded in. So I was like, I was surprised by that because I couldn't see very many of. We were looking for some Switch games. Couldn't see any of those traded in.
Right.
No one's traded in the Switch games, but there's a lot of Red Dead.
I think
a lot of Fallout 76 as well.
Is there? Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to try to surprise you with this one, D, right? This is just like a little tidbit. I wonder, can you tell me? You're obviously going to get it now. I'm going to call out 6 numbers. I tell you what, before D guesses, because I know he will, see if the people at home can tell me what these 6 numbers are in relation to.
Okay.
Starting, this is in like order, if that makes sense. 89, 86, 91, 84, 87, 52.
What?
Yeah. Random numbers, but think about it. Think about what we just said.
80.
So 89, 86, 91, 84, 87, and 52.
Those are the Metacritic
That's
scores?
exactly what they are. For what?
Fallout.
Right from Fallout 1 right through to 76.
Gosh.
Yeah. That
sucks.
89 for Fallout 1, 86 Fallout 2, 91 for Fallout 3.
Yeah, it was a revelation.
84 for New Vegas, 87 for 4, and 52 for 76. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, if you feel like Fallout games are letting you down recently, there was a big trailer released at the Game Awards as well.
Yes.
For from the guys who made Fallout 76. No, fucking Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas, yeah.
Obsidian, called The Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Which looks like Fallout.
Yeah.
And they literally have advertised it as from the creators of Fallout.
Yeah.
And the developers of Fallout New Vegas. We bring you this game that is not Fallout, but it's pretty much Fallout.
Yeah.
It's like Fallout in space.
It looks okay.
I think it looks good, and they're going to play on the fact that Fallout 76 has not went well at all.
No.
And they're going to just like run with that, and they'll probably do really well whenever the game releases next year.
Are you surprised it didn't do very well?
Fallout 76?
Yeah.
It was a big risk when you think about it. Like, you're taking what was a single player RPG, which had people already didn't like the fact that it was getting like more casual with Fallout 4, and you made it like online, like fucking
online
multiplayer.
only, yeah.
In a game that was buggy as hell, with just one player playing.
Yep.
And then you add up to like, I don't know, 20
people?
I don't know, too many people anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's a very strong divide in it. I think that people either love it or hate it, and there's no kind of in between.
What I hear is that people really want to love it, but like, and the idea is good,
Mm-hmm.
and the skeleton of it is there, and it has what do you call it, potential,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just no game there.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep going back to it. It's like what Sea of Thieves was when they came out.
Yeah, we follow quite a few big Fallout kind of collectors and players on Instagram at the minute, and from what I've seen of all of them is they're getting ready to get back into Fallout 4 at the minute. So I
can imagine
that kind of made me sad a wee bit.
I wanted to play Fallout 76. I still do a bit, but
Do you?
you can tell it by how it's doing, because on Black Friday it went from like being like a £50 game to 25, £24.
They're just trying to ship the copies now.
They gotta get the copies out.
What else did we hear from the Game Awards? What about New Dawn, Far Cry New Dawn? Did you see it?
Yeah, it looks interesting. Have you finished Far Cry 5?
No.
Ah.
I was not compelled to finish it. This was the hard thing. But I know you told me that the end's phenomenal.
Yep.
So I kind of want to just...
It's not necessarily phenomenal. It's just big. Like the ending is just a big occasion.
Bombastic.
Bombastic.
Yeah. Because I came from Fallout 4 and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I don't know, 5 just wasn't sucking me in. Like,
so there's can't really talk about what my thoughts on New Dawn are just yet without spoiling it, I don't think, because it is a tie-in.
Oh really?
It's a tie-in to Fallout 5.
Fuck,
Not
I did not
Fallout
know that.
5, Far Cry 5. I think I said Fallout New Dawn as well. So Far Cry. I'm talking about Far Cry.
Okay, yeah, Far Cry New Dawn, offering a new spin on the first-person shooter. It's ready to go February 15th, which is very soon.
Very soon, actually. Oh god. I think I know. This is going to be another Far Cry Primal, isn't
Just
it?
a skin, literally a skin over Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Far Cry Primal was the Far Cry 4 map. It was the exact same map except new textures on top of it.
Was it?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'd say that's what they've done. They're going to give you the exact same map as Far Cry 5, and they're going to mess it about.
Well, I haven't even explored half that map, so I don't mind.
I'm a little bit annoyed about this because Ubisoft were doing good with like Assassin's Creed, like going,
yeah,
now we're going to make full games again. We're not going to do this old shit that we were at, releasing a game every year.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing the thing that you said you weren't going to do anymore.
Well, it's ready to go February 15th. And what else? I definitely had some more news. Yes, this week past there, also seen the release of the PlayStation Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How's it doing?
I don't know.
No?
I'm not going to lie, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it.
I have one.
You got one?
I got one, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Then how's it playing?
Very well.
Oh, good.
I enjoy it very much. But I have not heard from others.
Oh, yes.
But
yes.
I thoroughly enjoy it. It is a beautiful little box. I should have brought it out,
It's a
actually.
nice
I had it on the
little
table.
Do you think it's worth the money?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
definitely.
Good.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I didn't buy it for myself.
Oh,
It was bought as a gift.
well, fair enough.
And but yeah, I mean, I think it's great, to be honest. I've had a lot of fun with it so far. I sank quite a few hours into it. So
What games have you been playing?
Oddworld is my first.
Oh, okay.
Because I love that game. And Siphon Filter on the side and Tekken 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've played a lot of Tekken 3 because you get 2 remotes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun just to kick the shit out of each other in Tekken. It was kind of like, remember what me, you and Sinker did that night with
Mario Kart?
no, what do you call it? Street Fighter, wasn't it? We played it up. Remember, we could not beat Sinker.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. Only
Well, that's because he
just
was cheating. Like,
yeah, he was cheating.
Yeah.
He was definitely holding down a button somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Very fun though. I mean, I'm not blown away with the games on it.
Yeah, the games list could have been better, but
A lot better. But did you also see, running on from this, what is ready to go next year? What's coming out next year?
what,
Crash Bandicoot.
Team Racing?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen that already.
I can't wait for this.
So a remaster of it.
Very excited for this indeed.
You said this. I remember you saying this ages ago.
That would have been...
Yeah. You always said you don't think it's going to happen, but you'd love to see it.
Yeah,
That's
because that was definitely one. I think if they do this and they do this well, they're going to do Crash Bash as well. That was the other original PS1.
It's the one where you're kind of
It's
playing.
like a party game almost.
Yeah.
A load of different party games. Unbelievable. Can't wait. So I'm
I
very
don't know,
excited for this.
I don't know how if they're going to keep remastering these games, it's almost like,
Like what?
when does it stop? Like,
Yeah,
should it ever stop?
I also have Sparrow. Did I tell you I got Sparrow?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you mentioned you got Sparrow.
Yeah,
You
it's quite good, yeah.
Trilogy. Have you done much of it?
No, I mean, it's so tough in places.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, no. I got Battlefield.
5 V.
Yeah.
Battlefield V. How do you think? Oh, what's it like?
Very good.
Oh yeah.
Here's my concern with it, right? I bought it and I had Red Dead in one hand and I had Battlefield in the other.
Shit.
I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go Battlefield. I got home, I put it in. I didn't realize, because I didn't read anything up about it, It's only 3 chapters long.
You serious? The campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. How long did that take?
Right, this is the thing. So I seen this and I was really pissed off at the start. I was like, this is a joke. It's only 3 separate like campaign missions with an extra one, but they're not releasing it until like January or February time or something.
Right.
I was like, right, okay. So I immediately started playing it on hardcore, which is the hardest difficulty. And it's lasted me, I still haven't finished it. It lasted me a very long time. And they are quite lengthy. Each one is taking me probably, well, I've finished 2 so far. Each one of them is taking me probably about, first one took me about maybe 7 hours. Second one's taking me about 5 or 6 hours. So the third one.
So that's longer than a standard game.
Yeah. They are quite, they're quite meaty when you play on that difficulty. That's just tough. But if you're playing it normal, like you blitz through it in about 4 hours.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh shit, right.
Probably about a 10-hour game, 10, 12-hour game.
That's bad.
But anyway, this was the other thing. I hotspotted my phone and my PlayStation to see if it could handle it. And it could. So I was playing Battlefield Online.
You're playing online?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I got my first game. And then it asked me to update and it was an 8 gig. And I was like, let's just turn that hotspot off.
What is your like monthly limit?
I have 20 gig.
Oh, so you could do it
for like an hour and... I think it was about an hour and 45 or so I was on. It only took like 400 megabyte off me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, that's fine. I'll just do that if I want to play.
Fair enough.
I'm going to make the most out of that game. It's a really good game.
We can play online.
We can play online. Yeah, that's a great idea actually. Yeah. But yeah, I was just testing the waters to see if it worked. I have to remember to turn all the background downloads off. So
right enough.
There's a couple that popped up and it was like 60 gig. I was like, let's just turn that off right now.
Cancel.
Yeah, we kind of just strayed a wee bit there into what I've been playing. Do you want to tell me what you've been playing? Because I'm down to hear a little bit about this.
So last week, just after Cyber Monday, after Black Friday, I was raging I never picked up. I wanted to get either an Xbox One X or a Switch. I couldn't get either. Because
you were writing in the group chat that time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was like, I got deals coming at me left and right. I didn't pull the trigger on any of them, and then I didn't get anything at the end of it. And I was annoyed, right? And I've been saying this to Laura. I wanted to get these things. I didn't get any of them in the end.
Yeah.
I kind of left it at that. Went to work Monday morning.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot this whole Cyber Monday thing they do. They do deals in that as well.
Yeah.
And one popped up for me.
Okay.
And it was like 10% off everything on eBay. And I was like, there's a Switch on eBay.
Really? It was eBay?
eBay, yeah.
Right, okay.
But it was like Argos selling on eBay. I was like, there's a Switch on eBay.
I didn't even know Argus did that.
10% off, lad. 10% off, like 300 is
30 quid.
30 quid. I got 50 off, so it's more than 10%.
Jesus, you got 50 off.
I got 50 off, whatever it was. So maybe 20, must be 20%, right?
Holy shit,
whatever.
That's crazy.
I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought the game.
That's incredible.
I packed the game, right?
I'm so glad that you did.
Yeah, and I felt fucking really, really happy with myself. So I got a Switch with Mario Odyssey. Fucking so stoked about it. And I was just really happy that I finally got the game, right? Well, back, did my business at work. That was 100%. Came back and I texted Laura to say, I went and bought myself the Switch.
Yeah.
But before I could write that message, a message had popped up on my screen.
Oh, no.
Laura texted me saying, I just bought you a Switch.
Oh, you're joking.
I shit you not.
Oh, no way.
So I sat down and looked at my phone.
Holy shit. It's like, do I tell her or do I keep 2? I could have 2 Switches.
I sat laughing for about 10 minutes.
God.
I swear to God. I couldn't fucking believe it.
What are the odds?
I know, yeah. We were freaking out. I was like, how is this actually happening? Like, so I had 2 fucking Switches coming to me now.
Brilliant.
Listen, the more the better. Like.
The more the merrier.
But we wound up cancelling one of them and just kept the one that I got off of
Brilliant.
Off of Argus.
Damn.
But like, I just thought it was fucking.
That's
incredible.
crazy. What are the chances that both of you ran it and that
I went for getting no Switches to getting 2. I felt really good about myself.
You should have kept 2.
Shouldn't I?
Then we never have to charge one. One always ready.
Alternate.
Yeah. Always ready. Always in the charge.
So I've been playing it. I've been playing Super Mario Odyssey. I really enjoy that game.
You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's class.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
It's one of my favorite Marios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you rode Jax in the desert?
The Jaxi Taxi?
I love them.
I
It's
fucking love
so
all
much
that.
fun.
I'm in New Donk City at the minute.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
such
really
a happy
liking it.
place,
Yeah,
like, isn't it? Yeah,
so
it's
positive.
very, very cool.
So I'm loving that game. I know I'm like a year late. I'm gonna pick up Zelda. I'm gonna pick up Mario Kart. We got Mario Kart now. We're gonna try and play. I'm gonna play all them games, all the ones I've missed on the Switch. I'm gonna pick up some handy little like Stardew Valley games.
Oh yes,
play away.
Make the
games.
most of the actual the capabilities of that bad
The
boy.
portability is what I'm sold on, Chris.
I myself am gonna pick up some smaller titles I got for when I go on holidays now next year. I'm gonna get Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and maybe Stardew. I've seen a couple of other nice ones. Little Nightmares because I wanted to play it ages ago.
Yeah, you were saying.
And then it came to Switch, so I was like, brilliant.
Skyrim, some small ones.
But the big one for me this week, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because I'm torn. I was talking to Sinker today about this. Is Smash just came out?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I know you're not too interested in Smash. Maybe you are now though that you have a Switch. I hope you will be.
Nope.
Well, I'm so like, do I just wait to Christmas or do I just buy it now? But it's like 50 quid right in the mouth of Christmas.
Yeah.
You know,
Switch games are so expensive.
I know, and if I buy it, I'm definitely buying the GameCube controller.
Yeah,
because I have to.
It's only like 25 quid. Though.
I know. Game have them for 20 at the minute.
Do they?
19.99.
Nice.
Yeah. They also have the ones I have, like the Mario one for like.
It's 25. We were in game today.
Is it still 25?
We've seen it 25.
Wow.
Yeah. I would get it at 20 for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Those GameCube controllers are sick, especially for playing Mario Kart. Like, oh my god, I can't wait. We're gonna have to play. We're definitely can you? This is stupid. Can you do like LAN with 2 switches? I'm sure you can connect over an internet.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, we will do
it.
Work. Yeah, 100%.
We'll make it work.
I can't wait for this now.
We're gonna be switching it up, bro.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm so happy that I got one.
So have you just been playing non-stop?
Not non-stop, but I'm playing a lot of it. Like, it's been the primary game. The other games we've been playing are the Forest. Still, we're still building.
Oh yeah, right enough. How's that going?
Creating we've got a fortress, Chris. It's a fortress. Like,
I'm very proud.
There's nothing that can penetrate.
Good.
Our fortress.
Good. Penetration is key.
Penetration. Full penetration. I'm playing it. Still playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yeah, it's fun. It actually is. It's some of the best COD multiplayer I've played.
I've heard that from multiple sources.
But it's just not. Just don't pay £50 for it. It's ridiculous.
No, yeah.
I don't play Blackout. I don't play the Battle Royale shite, and I don't play zombies. So that's all I have is multiplayer. I still feel a bit robbed, but I am enjoying it.
Good.
And the other one, I played a bit of Destiny 2 as well.
Okay.
Good. It was free.
Yeah, well, I've seen that actually. Yeah, well done. Making the most of that free.
Lad.
I'm trying to think if I haven't done anything else. I haven't thought of anything else.
I have another slight bit of news I wanted to mention.
Yes, please do.
Epic, Fortnite creators Epic have launched their own store. The Epic Games Store.
I did not know that.
I know, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
Wow, okay. Yeah.
So they're taking on Steam. Wow. They're going right for the fucking jugger.
Holy shit.
Steam. Like, they got so much money, it's not even funny. Fortnite money, but
that's crazy.
Fortnite cash.
Fortnite is blown up. Like, when you think about this, I thought about this the other day. Like, remember, like whenever Fortnite was kind of first, like, you know, tiptoeing off the ground, it was just like, oh yeah,
it was like PUBG and
PUBG. Yeah. And now it's like, oh, cartoon. And now it's just Fortnite. Like, yeah, holy shit.
That's all anyone talks about. I hate the game.
Same. I detest it. Like, I detest everything about it, and the people who play it. I kid.
Not really.
People are finding this podcast. People are finding it and finding it well.
Yeah.
We have appeared in people's most listened to for the year on Spotify.
That's a good feeling.
That's a great feeling.
That's a good feeling.
The Empty Promise podcast has been dug up by people, and we are being listened to on the weekly basis. And we thank you.
We thank you very much.
Very much.
You should listen to us. We're good.
Remember that if you have found this podcast over on Spotify or any other kind of audio streaming, podcast streaming network, you can find the video version over at youtube.com/x8gaming. That is the umbrella of operations that we operate under. Just search for it there. You'll get all of our previous content that we once used to make on quite a regular basis. That we rarely do now. Yeah. Because we just can't seem to find the time.
There's stuff there, right? There's going to be a podcast there. Focus on that.
Focus on the podcast.
There's other stuff there too. Yeah. That's fine. But
I was thinking about this again the other day. I'd love to get back. I watched our Fallout video again.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Maybe when the days start getting a bit longer.
That's the issue. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough daylight hours to get things done.
That's it. You know, it's hard after work, and you're just like, oh, it's dark. I just don't want to do anything.
That's Christmas too. Like.
New Year. That's our New Year's resolution on this podcast.
Sure.
It's probably definitely not
gonna happen.
But thank you to everybody who has found it and got in touch with us during the week and are still listening, continuing to listen, writing to us regularly, submitting questions or asking us things about the podcast. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, very much so. And we hope that we can continue to get better and better with our audio and our video, definitely. Manship. And find you on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
With all that being said and out of the way.
Chris, before you start.
I know, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm really looking at it. What is this?
It's a present.
Can I open it?
Yeah.
It's for
the studio.
Okay.
You're gonna work it out. Like, I think you've already worked out what it is.
I have a fair idea, yeah.
Pretty sure you've already worked it out.
But my God. So a bit of background on this.
Yeah. I was shopping today.
Okay, brilliant. That's all I need to know.
Bit of Crimbo shopping, lad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
With pure natural extracts.
Yes, sir.
An official Yonky Cundle.
A Yonky Cundle from the Yonky Cundle store.
No way.
In Belfast.
I think I can smell it already.
Oh, it's a good smell.
Did you pick this one up and smell it yourself?
Yeah. Oh Jesus, lad. We smelled about 50.
Oh my.
Different scents. You know.
Oh.
You'll just pick these bad boys up.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
I
like,
forget what it smells like.
it's like
Oh, it's so sweet.
it's like what I'd imagine living on a cloud to smell like.
Ah, yes.
My word, that's fresh. It's this is red raspberry for anybody that wants to buy Yunky candles for Christmas.
So what we got going at the minute?
Oh God, we have pink lemonade and we have
what's this bad boy?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's that bad boy? Oh, mixed berry
it's like a
Linzer? Mixed berry Gary Lineker.
Mixed berry Gary Lineker. This trumps them all. I think we should light this.
Yeah, I think we.
Matches.
Matches. Somebody. We got a guy who could do this.
Are they on the floor right at the foot of the table? No, Aaron lit everything up in here today for me, so I don't think he would have put them too far.
He's awful good, dear.
I mean, he had to. I was literally just in from work and I was like, I'm getting changed. He's got to be here. There's bound to be matches about here somewhere.
I threw matches away somewhere earlier.
While we look for matches to get this lit, we will be undertaking. Oh, there they are.
Just pass them off to you there, Chris.
They literally just appeared on camera. You light that up. Cool. We will be undertaking the big 9/11 podcast, conspiracy podcast, as part of our conspiracy theory podcast series. Mm-hmm. This week, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm bringing to you this week, D. Well, you already know, but the people don't know. 2 separate ones, and it will probably fall. I don't know. The hype is real for that one.
For the 9/11 one.
People want to see that.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of the biggest ones, Chris, because it's so relevant, so modern to us.
Yeah.
I don't know about the ones you're going to talk about. I do know about the one you're going to talk about, and the one I'm talking about happened quite a while ago. Chris, I'm having no joy here.
You got to strike it towards you.
Toward you?
Yeah, you seem to strike matches away.
I do strike it because it's a safety match, Chris. I don't want to, I don't want to endanger myself.
Strike it towards you. No.
Away, I'm going away. Look what
oh God, if you go away, you could break the match. Nope. Oh. That started the light. I hope this table's not flammable.
Anyway, so, do you want? Will I announce mine? I went for a slightly different one
today.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first today?
Who wants?
So this is the beginning, obviously, of episode 2 of the Conspiracy Theory podcast. Here we go. Oh, we're lighting the candle for it and all. This is the conspiracy candle.
This is the conspiracy candle.
Who wants to go first? I don't mind.
Well, okay. Do you want? Will we announce the nominees first?
Today and tomorrow? Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Yes. This week I will be undertaking the Roswell incident, aka Area 51, aka what the hell happened in Roswell.
Area 51.
What the hell happened in Roswell?
In Roswell, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
It's one of the. It was actually the one that I was going to do.
A U.S. government cover-up, supposedly. That's what I want to talk about this week.
We got to dig in for that one, Chris.
Yeah, I think so.
This is one I think is so interesting.
Yeah,
because it's the start of the whole UFO alien.
100%. Yeah, what the hell is going on with the government? Yeah.
What are they doing? What
do you know a bit about Roswell?
I know a decent amount. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your conspiracy for this week?
My conspiracy is, it's a slightly different one, right?
Okay.
I kind of wanted to do Roswell, and then I was like, nah.
Because that's the thing, we could both do Roswell.
No, I got another one. Another one that's cool. Okay. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm talking about the case of oh my goodness, I've literally forgotten the name of the case. I'm talking about the case of D.B Cooper. Now, are you familiar with this?
Hang on,
D.B Cooper.
Where have I heard of this before?
You might have heard it was referenced in like Prison Break. That's where I first heard about it.
And what is it?
So D.B Cooper is it's the event of a guy back in the 80s or 70s. I get the details when we're going on it. Who hijacked a plane, landed the plane, demanded money, was given the money, and they took the plane off again. And then he parachuted out. He bailed out of the plane with cash in hand and was never seen again.
Lies.
Never seen again. Dead or alive.
What?
The man escaped. And we don't know. And there's a lot that would happen sort of afterwards.
Holy smokes.
But yeah.
This is interesting.
This is the case of D.B Cooper. So
this
is
really
kind of like
interested in this.
a mystery disappearance. There's theories about what happened to him, what he did.
Let's touch on Roswell first of all, I think, because I'm more interested in your case.
Okay.
And I really want to kind of...
I think Roswell is the proper conspiracy.
Yeah, and then, that's fine.
This is just kind of like a weird
kind of story. I like this, because you've said that, and you've kind of broke off, and now I'm thinking that maybe we should do an episode on the Alcatraz escapes.
It literally was the other one I was going to do.
What the fuck's going on here? Like, it's like one mind. We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Or as I said earlier, I was going to do the one on the escape from the prison of Azkaban. That might have happened too.
Daniel Radcliffe and the boys may know a thing or two for that one. We'll hook him out.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if I can get going here. So, the Roswell incident. How UFO sightings sparked 70 years of conspiracy theories.
70 years.
70 years.
Fucking hell.
So, a US government cover-up, the declassification of top-secret files, and big-budget alien movies have fueled interest in UFOs. That's a bit of background, first of all. June 26th... 8th of July, 1947. The Roswell Daily Record newspaper published a front-page article with the headline, RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region.
Flying saucer.
And the legend of America's most famous brush with aliens was born. So today, many conspiracy theorists consider the so-called Roswell incident to be one of the most conspicuous pieces of evidence that the US government have covered up in the existence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. And when this was published, people all around the world were getting ready to travel to the town, the UFO capital of the world, because there was some big UFO thing on. So I don't. Okay. Anyway, what was the Roswell incident day? Well, on the 7th of July, 1947, around 75 miles north of the town of Roswell in New Mexico, debris from a highly classified project used by the U.S. Army Air Force. This was the precursor to the U.S. Air Force to detect atomic bomb tests in the Soviet Union, was recovered from a ranch after being reported by ranch worker William Brazel.
Dazzle, yeah.
Intrigued by the idea of flying saucers, Brazel gathered some of the debris and went to Roswell, where he told Sheriff George Wilcox about his find. According to the reports, he, quote, whispered kind of confidential like. Wilcox immediately reported the encounter to the US AAF base at Roswell, which promptly sent agents to visit the ranch, but not before the press picked up the story.
So this is the event.
So what are we talking here? 1947. This is in wartime as well.
It's 2 years after the war ended.
Oh, 45. That's right. Yeah. 39 to 45, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should know this. I'm playing Battlefield. My God. So what was actually reported at the time? So on the 8th of July, 47, Roswell Army Airfield issued a press release stating that a flying disc had crashed on a ranch near Roswell during a powerful storm. Later in the day, as government scientists arrived in the area, the story appeared to change, though. A press conference was held, and it was stated that a weather balloon had crashed.
Yeah, a weather balloon, of all things.
I know. Reporters were shown debris said to be taken from the crash area, such as foil, rubber, and wood, which appeared to confirm that the object had, in fact, been a weather balloon. After initially suggesting that Brazel's debris had come from UFO, the Roswell Daily Record reported a correction, which included the USAAF statement that it was a weather balloon that had been found at the site. Brazel later went on record to say that he regretted the publicity that the misidentification had caused. But according to official accounts, the debris that was found, that Brazel found, came from a weather balloon, which was part of an experiment. Technology trial, codenamed Project Mogul. Mm-hmm.
So this is the official account, is that a weather balloon, part of Project Mogul, crashed to Earth in a fiery explosion.
Even though this farmer had said that he seen a sphere crash, it was reported that it was a flying disc. Project Mogul is what it went down as. So what actually was Project Mogul?
Yeah.
It was designed to detect sound waves in the upper atmosphere from Soviet atom bomb tests by flying microphones on trains of balloons at high altitude.
Okay, right.
So they were sending up these balloons with microphones to detect, sound from atomic bomb blasts from Soviet.
It's mad. So is that their kind of explanation is why he's seen all this weird circuitry and shit?
Pretty much, and they said that one of these balloons pretty much crashed. And that's what the guy's seen, is what they're trying to say. That's what they're kind of covered up.
That's the official line. So was this said at the time of the crash? They said that's what this is.
Yeah.
Project Mogul, or did this come out later?
This came out after. This was slightly after when the official account was made.
Okay.
So at first, obviously, there was no official account. It was just eyewitness and speculation on what was going on. And then they released an official account which said that No, this all came just from a weather balloon.
Yeah.
That we put up there, codename Project Mogul. We're looking for, I don't know, we're testing Soviet fucking atom
bombs,
whatever it is. But the fact that the balloon was involved in Cold War surveillance of the Soviet Union may have helped to propel rumors of a cover-up.
Okay, right. So they're saying essentially because they didn't want people knowing that they were monitoring the Soviets, that's why they tried to hide all this shit. Okay, right. That's the official party line, is it?
Yeah, that's it. So then for 31 years, the story was largely forgotten until the National Enquirer, which is a newspaper, reported the original Roswell Daily Record story again, which would have been the newspaper at the time that ran with that story. But not the correction. So the correction was made.
Oh, okay. Yes,
saying, this was just a weather balloon. They ran with the original story and didn't include the correction. Following the publication of the new story, theories suggesting that the government's incomplete account had been an attempt to cover up the discovery of an alien spacecraft begins to take root. So
that's the start of it.
That's the start.
So when was this republished?
31 years after. So what was that? 45?
Yeah, that's a right.
85, 86, 86 something around that.
It's long enough time that people can start making their assumptions in between.
What did any other eyewitnesses say? So several people claim to have seen debris scattered over a wide area, and at least one person reported seeing a blazing aircraft in the sky shortly before it crashed. But the key account came from a former mortician, Glenn Dennis, who claimed that in 1989 that a friend who worked as a nurse in the Roswell Army airfield had accidentally walked into an examination room where doctors were bent over the bodies of 3 creatures. They apparently resembled humans, but with small bodies, spindly arms, and giant bald heads.
So this happened in 1989, this came out?
1989, this guy, Glenn Dennis, claims that he had a friend who worked as a nurse in the Roswell airfield, and this nurse had said that she walked in and interrupted this fucking autopsy going on.
The alien autopsy. This is the thing, like this famous videotape. They found out that was faked or whatever later, but like this is all stemming from the Roswell aliens.
Yeah. Wasn't that was proven as like
that was a fake? Yeah, some guys just made that in their room or whatever. But like, yeah, that came from this story. Yeah, with this guy.
In 1995, Ray Santilli, a London-based entrepreneur, released footage of the alien autopsy. Yes. Experts immediately ridiculed the footage as a hoax, and he admitted years later that it was almost entirely fake. Nevertheless, Santilli insisted real footage exists, but due to its poor condition, he had been forced to recreate it. So this real footage never submerged. Critics have questioned the validity of various witnesses and pointed out that many claims over the years have come from friends of friends who reportedly saw something out of the ordinary. So no real real backbone to this conspiracy just yet. Coincidentally, the publication of the story came just 1 year after the release of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a film about a government conspiracy covering up alien visits to Earth. The film was released in the USA in November, and the following year in the UK. That year, 750 sightings were officially documented in the UK by the Ministry of Defence UFO desk, the highest figure on record. Yeah. So I think maybe with this, a lot of people...
Yeah, you kind of got like whirled up in the hype. Kind of like aliens are out there, governments are trying to hide this. Yeah, and people start seeing things that they can't explain. Yeah, where it used to be like if you couldn't explain it, you're kind of like, oh, God only knows, that could be anything, whatever. But now it's like UFO. Yep. UFO.
Well, like an unidentified flying, it could be anything. If you just can't identify an object, it's a UFO. You know what I mean? Even though Project Mogul wasn't declassified in the 1970s, it wasn't fully connected to Roswell until 1994, when the normally secretive National Security Agency finally published an in-depth report refuting all claims of conspiracy at the site. A second report released in 1997 concluded that reports of alien bodies actually related to life-sized anthropomorphic test dummies.
Okay.
But by providing...
So, hold on. So they actually said that this happened.
Yeah.
They did this on dummies. They're saying this actually happened.
Yes, they published an in-depth report refuting all claims of the conspiracy at the site. But then a second report released in '97 concluded that reports of alien bodies actually related to life-size test dummies. So why the hell? Why would they? What the fuck were they even doing with test dummies?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like why?
Surely they could have just said like that was a lie.
That just never happened.
To cover that up.
Yeah, why try covering it up by saying, "Oh yeah, don't worry, it wasn't aliens, it was just dummies."
Yeah, small dummies. That
so what were you even doing? You know what I mean? But by proving detailed analysis of the Roswell incident, many analysts believe that the U.S. government inadvertently fueled interest in conspiracy theorists and public suspicions that the U.S. military was involved in a cover-up. So basically what we're saying, like, why would you even just say no? Just say it never happened.
Never happened.
You know, just
it's the fact that they tried to address each of the issues is kind of like, well, you're just giving us an answer for everything. Like, it's not like, it's like it's almost too good of a response. It's like you're not leaving any room for doubt here. It's like, I know. You're all wrong. And people just instinctively will go against that. And say you're just saying that to cover up.
Because of the huge notoriety surrounding the Roswell incident, this town has become ground zero for UFO conspiracists.
Yeah, of course.
Each year on the anniversary of the story, thousands of enthusiasts embrace all things alien, a paranormal of UFO festival. There they can dissect mock alien bodies and take part in scientific experiments. But then that leads me to Area 51 and the real story kind of behind it, because Area 51 is where is Area 51? Is it not? It's Nevada, isn't it?
Nevada.
And there was
Area 51 is
like a hidden military base.
It's not on any maps.
It's in the middle of the barren Nevada desert, and it's a dusty, unmarked road that leads to the front gate of Area 51. It's protected by little more than a chain link fence, and a lock and a sign. But this has been, well, nobody actually knows, but there are, of course, alleged alien conspiracies. Galactic visitors are tucked away somewhere inside. And rumors insist that the infamous 1947 Roswell craft was actually a Soviet aircraft piloted by mutated midgets, and the wreckage are in the grounds of Area 51.
There's so many different ways that story can go.
I mean, I don't.
So the fact, right? Okay, let me just get right.
Yeah, back it up a bit.
The fact that there are like small bodies seems to keep popping up. It's like, all right, there were small bodies at the crash site, right? So one person's like, they were aliens, they look weird, right? Then the government comes out and says, nah, they were just test dummies. Fine, okay, that seems strange that you were doing that, but okay. And now other people are saying they were, what was it? Something deformed midgets, what was it?
Yeah, they're saying that. Hang on one second. I just scrolled on from that. One of the most colourful rumours insists that the infamous 1940 was actually a Soviet aircraft piloted by mutated midgets.
Mutated midgets. So it's like there's always trying to be an explanation for the fact that there was these small, unusual bodies, beings being there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
why not just say that no, they never existed?
Sure. If you're gonna wash over this thing, why are these things constantly popping up? And it's like that is the sticking point here.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Area 51 is housing aliens, is because there was these bodies, these deformed midgets, or these test dummies. Like,
now, some people also believe, and this is another conspiracy that we'll probably look at as well, that Area 51 is a grounds used, that the government used as well to fake the 1969 moon landing.
Oh yes.
But we'll get to that. But all the myths and legends, what is true that Area 51 is very real and still very active. But nobody actually knows what is going on the inside. The beginning of Area 51 is directly related to the development of the U-2 reconnaissance aircraft. After World War II, the Soviet Union lowered the Iron Curtain around themselves and the rest of the Eastern Bloc, creating a near intelligence blackout to the rest of the world. So obviously, what did they come up with this? U-2?
Yeah, the U-2 planes, they flew like so high in the atmosphere that they were kind of untraceable, and they had these super powerful cameras that could go down and assess and find like missile sites and all the rest. Like,
and what year was that? Did I just say?
Ooh, it was 1954.
So, is it possible that it was just one of these high altitude in the late 50s? No, it wouldn't. It could have been. Could that have been in early testing or something, and it crashed? This is it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, I think common conspiracy I always hear, or common theory I always hear, is that it was highly confidential equipment that was being tested.
Okay.
Which crashed.
Yeah.
Okay. And so a lot of people will say even the fact that there's like this alien a UFO conspiracy, that the fact that it exists was engineered by the US government, by the Air Force or whatever, so that people wouldn't actually look closely enough to find out that this was the prototype of an airplane that could photograph missiles so high in the sky, so high in the sky that Soviets wouldn't be able to recognize them. Because if the Soviets knew,
so what did they just run with? Oh, so this is them trying to cover up the fact that they were trying to spy on Soviets, basically.
pretty much.
That they're just saying, oh, it was alien.
Well,
And they're gonna run with
necessarily.
alien?
We were kind of like, they'll let. So they made that first. Remember you saying that their initial statement was, it's a flying disc.
A flying
And then
disc,
the next day, oh no, it's a weather balloon.
it's a weather balloon. Yeah.
It's like maybe some people say, and I don't know how much water this whole theory holds, but some people say the reason that they made that mistake, and they sort of let the idea that it was aliens sort of propagate it the way that it did, is so that people wouldn't ask too many questions. They would want to go for this crazy theory rather than thinking more like, this is a piece of equipment that the US is testing, and stop like prying eyes. So say stop like the Soviets from looking in and going, this is equipment that could photograph our missiles, and we wouldn't know about it. And now, as soon as they know about it, they know we have to protect ourselves from that, and the whole mission is compromised and it's broken. So it's like, why don't we just spread misinformation? Like, let them believe it's aliens. That's fine, because that keeps our secret of like this plane we're trying to develop protected.
So basically,
that's one theory.
Yeah. So basically, one theory is that the government, the US government, are testing what some kind of like
really high
at that time, really high,
like
high class fucking like
ahead of
like
time
a drone
fucking technology.
Okay. And it crashes in Roswell.
Yeah.
And
essentially a dude finds it rather than their team's finding it. Some random dude finds it and brings it to the press.
Yeah.
So they're in trouble.
And instead of them just saying, yeah, right enough, because if they had turned around then and said, and just admitted, yes, this is what we're doing, and this is pretty much fucking spying on Russian.
The jig is up.
The jig is up. So they're pretty much, so what, it came from the inside, basically?
Possibly. Or maybe it was a complete fluke that people go, it's a flying saucer, it's aliens, and they're just like, let them think that.
Because there was no kind of known accounts of like UFO or anything beforehand. This is the one that kind of sparked the big one,
isn't it? This is it. Like, this is the first time I think that UFO became a thing associated with aliens, ET, all that.
Yeah.
It's like UFOs, I think, because I remember hearing about reports from like the war of pilots seeing things they couldn't explain. UFO, essentially, right?
Yeah. Isn't there pictures like drones have taken of like shit flying on top of planes or under planes?
I think so, yeah.
And like no one knows what it is.
It's like it is by definition unidentified flying object, but they didn't go like that's an alien in that until Roswell happened, and now people are thinking flying saucer, small weird bodies, and they conjoin the two, and now it's aliens flying saucers, and that's where the whole mythos comes from.
I mean, they're testing a lot of atom bombs and stuff in Roswell.
They are. Are they?
Well, they did. They
did. Yeah.
And that leads to like radiation, mutation.
Could be that too. Like,
there's a lot of shit going on in Roswell.
Roswell's a weird. It's so fucking remote. How everything's going on down there.
It just
they can get away with hiding it.
Like, it just seems like such a strange place for something to crash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did it not crash in a city?
Well, you wouldn't test something that important in a city.
Well, that's very true.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads to the fact that it was just a test.
Yeah.
Because it seems very coincidental that just an alien spacecraft just happened to crash in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because an alien spacecraft could crash anywhere. Well, it could crash in the city.
It could, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That probably more likely. If the aliens are coming to Earth, like they're probably going to be more interested in cities.
Populated areas.
Yeah,
of course.
The desert, like. But it's like, it's just one way of looking at it, like. But, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know, like. That's the whole point. You know, and you don't know whether you can trust this whole weather balloon crack either. It could have just been a weather balloon, and the whole thing might have just been imagined, you know, by the press, by the people getting worked up at, or it could have been they were trying to hide something. People knew they were trying to hide something, but they didn't get the right thing they were trying to hide, and they got in this kind of whimsical idea of aliens and UFOs, and that's what the obsession has been about, rather than are they trying to hide like super high tech which can, you know, spy on people.
Yeah,
which could have been true too. That's why it's so fascinating.
God, what is this?
That's why it's so fascinating to me.
So hang on, I also had something else here. It will not load. 1 second.
It will not load.
It will not load.
Do you know why, Chris? Because they don't want you to speak about it.
So
Chris, they don't want you.
This is what was described on July 9th by Brazel. You know, the guy the farmer who originally seen it. The balloon which held it up This is just a quote. The balloon which held it up, if that was how it worked, must have been 12 feet or 3.5 meters long. He felt that by measuring the distance by the size of the room in which he sat was the best way to go. The rubber was smoky grey in colour and scattered over an area about 200 yards in diameter. When the debris was gathered up, the tinfoil, paper, tape and sticks made a bundle about 3 feet long and or about 7 or 8 inches thick. And the rubber made a bundle about 18 inches long and 8 inches thick. In all, it estimated that the entire lot would have weighed maybe 5 pounds or 2 kilos. There was no sign of any metal in the area, which may have been used for an engine, and no sign of any propellers of any kind, although at least one paper fin had been glued onto some of the tinfoil. There were no words to be found anywhere on the instrument, although there were letters on some of the parts. Considerable Scotch tape and some tape with flowers printed upon it had been used in the construction. No strings or wires were found, and there were some eyelets in the paper to indicate that some sort of attachment may have been used. So it definitely seems like this is just some kind of weather balloon or weather measuring instrument.
Okay, well, when was this said?
This is the original kind of what the press kind of released straight away.
This is on the 9th.
This is on the 9th.
So he found it on the 7th?
7th, yeah.
And then on the 8th he went to the press, and then on the 9th he's saying this is what he thinks it is. Okay. So all I'm saying is there's time there. Yep. If someone wants to tell him what to say.
On July 8th, there was a statement released from Carswell Air Force Base saying, and I quote, "The disc is hexagonal in shape and was suspended from a balloon by cable that was approximately 20 feet in diameter." Major Curtin further advises that the object found resembles a high-altitude weather balloon with a radar reflector, but that telephonic conversation between their office and Wright Field had not borne out this belief. So, early on July 8th, the Army base issued a press release that was immediately picked up by numerous outlets. They said that the many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group of 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office. The flying object landed on a ranch near Roswell sometime last week. Not having phone facilities, the rancher stored the disc until such time as he was not able to contact the sheriff's office, who in turn notified Major Jesse A. Marshall of the 509th Bomb Group. Action was immediately taken and the disc was picked up at the rancher's home. It was inspected in Roswell Army Airfield and subsequently loaned by Major Marshall to higher headquarters. So now they're saying that it was over a week before this Air Force got to the rancher's home, who found the crashed whatever it was and picked it up. So there's a full week there.
So stories have changed.
Stories have changed dramatically. Still, this whole weather balloon with like radar reflector seems to be like what's growing, as
the likely,
the main kind of story. Hundreds of documents were obtained via Freedom of Information Act requests, along with other documents such as Majestic 12 that were supposedly leaked by insiders. Their conclusions were at least one alien spacecraft crashed near Roswell, alien bodies had been recovered, and a government cover-up of the incident had taken place. Over the years, books, articles, and television specials brought the 1947 incident significant notoriety. So with this whole freedom of information, whenever they actually have to do this, is release the information basically to the public. What was leaked is basically that that there was an alien spacecraft and that alien bodies had been recovered.
So this is the documents that came out much later,
and
it fuels the fire. Then is this true though? Can you believe where that?
I don't know, because it said it was supposedly leaked by insiders.
Yeah, you see, this is it.
Is that the real document? I mean, but this is it as well, right? And I thought about this as well whenever we discussed like the Kennedy case, right? If they have to release this document, and like they know that freedom of information exists, like who's to say that what they're writing down at the time is just not complete?
Let's just make this
gibberish.
Up.
Yeah, because it's going to go out anyway. So let's just say, fuck it, it was a weather balloon. Who cares?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But then the other thing is like insiders, right? So for some reason you're inclined to believe the insiders. You kind of go, they're going against the official party line. They're going to tell us the truth, and I'm like, what if the truth is, okay, weather balloon, and then
Yep.
they set this insider, and they tell him, go out and say it's aliens with all alien spacecraft, found alien body, Area 51, etc., etc., etc. And the second that comes out, obviously the media's going to go with that one because that's much more interesting and much more scandalous and all this. And now what they were actually working on, whatever it was, so say it was that U2 plane, or say it was something even more sinister, say it was something weird, or an atom bomb, whatever the fuck it was, whatever they were really doing, is no one cares. All they care about is this alien thing.
This alien, yeah.
I've always kind of subscribed to that idea that first of all, if Roswell wasn't a weather balloon, right? I think it could have been.
Okay.
Right? I don't think it's an alien spacecraft, right? I think it's just something to do with the US military crashed, and they didn't want people to know exactly what it was.
So they said it was an alien
So
spacecraft.
they said it was a weather balloon, whatever.
A UFO.
And whenever people got too interested in it, I think they let this whole idea of an alien. It had already sort of started. They just let it go. They were like, run with that. Let them think that's what it is. Now no one's going to pay close enough attention to what this actually is.
Wow.
Because all they want to believe is reinforce this idea that it's an alien. That's what I think anyway.
Well,
there's another turn in this story.
Randall and Schmidt, who released a book called The Truth About UFO Crash at Roswell, had another book updating their previous narrative with details including the claim that alien bodies were taken by cargo plane to be viewed by Dwight D. Eisenhower, the president,
Oof.
who was very curious about their appearance. And former Lieutenant Colonel Philip J. Corso reported in his autobiographical book that the Roswell crash did happen, and that when he was assigned to Fort Riley in Kansas in July 1947, 5 trucks of 25 tons and some semi-trailers entered the base from Fort Bliss, Texas. He claimed that while he was patrolling the base, he was brought into the medical facilities by Sergeant Brown and shown the remnants of bodies that were in a, quote, air crash. Philip Klass analysed his claims line by line and exposed many inconsistencies and factual errors.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't necessarily believe this guy is telling the truth?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, people just seem to be jumping on this and saying, there was bodies.
Yeah.
There was, I don't know.
It's a fascinating one. Like,
hundreds of people were interviewed. But only a couple claimed to have seen debris or aliens. Most witnesses were repeating the claims of others, and it all was kind of friend of a friend. It's not. Nobody seems to have seen.
Conclusive,
it's very hush hush. Only a handful of people, the correct people, if you like, seen what went on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the first thing that the only thing I ever think about whenever it's Roswell is obviously it's an alien cover up.
Yep.
But like you're saying there's a very real possibility that it was just the US government testing something that they were going to use for reconnaissance.
Mm-hmm.
It went wrong. They found it, and instead of saying yes, we were going to use this,
they covered themselves.
in which case, the Soviets or whoever would have been like, shit, let's cover up, because back then that was a big thing, wasn't it?
This was the start of the Cold War, like.
Yeah. So instead of saying that, they pretty much just went, no, it was an alien
spacecraft,
a UFO, what a perfect way to put it, just a UFO, unidentified
flying object.
We have no idea what it was.
Listen. It's like all of our conspiracy things. We're never going to know for sure, probably. But I think there's a lot of people out there who like the idea of it being aliens because that's just like, this is ground zero for something that exploded into popularity with like UFOs and crop circles and alien abductions and all these stories stem. This all started at Roswell, like. Yeah. So if it's in like the public consensus, it's not important. Like if Roswell isn't like the event where aliens were first found on Earth, then it's like the rest of the stuff kind of loses its kind of foundation. So like Roswell will always be
it doesn't matter what comes out about it. It will always be like the initial alien kind of true.
And that's why I think it's so fucking cool. That's why I really like talking about it.
Same. I like that.
Yeah.
I like to believe that there's something going on, that there's definitely a big cover up though.
Yeah.
Why not?
They're covering something up, I think. I mean, there's just too much speculation about it. And there was just...
It's this whole freedom of information though. They can release whatever the hell they want, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. And like if they don't want a piece of information to be released, they'll just destroy it. Like, what's to stop them?
Exactly. There's nothing stopping them. I'm more curious about what the hell is going on in Area 51 though.
Yeah. Now that one is interesting, but it's like we know that there's something they have to keep secret in there, right? Because that's just what it is. It's a secret.
It's a secret base.
So that could be what everyone thinks it is, and aliens and spacecraft.
Probably have smallpox and everything in there.
Yeah, it could, or it could literally be something like that. It could be like we have like a really dangerous like.
It's quarantined here.
Yeah, you can't. Like, or it could be we're working on a new spaceship or airplanes.
It could be like fucking like creating some kind of super mutant in there for all we know. You know what I mean? Government do tests like that, man.
I think Area 51 is like whatever it used to be. It's not anymore because it's got too much notoriety now. It's like people expect weird shit to go on Area 51. So if they were doing weird shit,
it's an Area 52.
It's an Area 52.
Yeah,
they moved
Area 51A.
Yeah,
yeah. It's so strange that it's just a facility and it's just surrounded by a chain link fence and that's it.
Again, though, I kind of think that the like U.S. military are kind of going. I'd say maybe they have like 100 or 200 bases just like that all over the states, but they're kind of like. Say nothing about that, but keep people interested in Area 51.
Because they have like a runway that's like 4 miles long.
Yeah.
Why? No one needs a runway that long, man. A normal runway is like a mile or a little over a mile.
But like
4 miles of runway.
I think they keep Area 51 in people's minds so that people
they can do other shit elsewhere.
Like people are only looking at Area 51 and nothing happens there.
Maybe.
Hey, they're smart guys, Chris.
I'd love to know what's going on, though. I need to know.
We'll get in.
I know. We have to get in.
We'll cut through that chain link fence.
I'd like to talk about that some other time. The shit that we think could be going on in Area 51. That'd be a good one.
It's an interesting conversation.
Right. Hit me up with your
D.B Cooper.
Plane hijack guy.
D.B Cooper. This is like... okay, I'll give there's a nice little introduction here, and I like it reading it. Kind of gives you some good grounding on what it is. D.B Cooper is a media epithet popularly used to refer to an unidentified man who hijacked a Boeing 727 aircraft in the northwest United States in the airspace between Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington. Okay. On the afternoon of Wednesday, November 24th, 1971. So that's the year it happened, 1971. He extorted $200,000 in ransom, which is equivalent of $1.2 million in 2017 money, and parachuted to an uncertain fate. Despite an extensive manhunt and protracted FBI investigation, the perpetrator has never been located or identified. It remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in commercial aviation history.
Wow.
So this is the guy, the one who got away.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is the only case ever noticed?
This is the only case that was never solved. So we just don't know what happened to him. So a lot of people have made their theories about what happened to him. And there was a full investigation. As I said, there was an extensive FBI manhunt. But D.B. Cooper disappeared in 1971 and he was never seen again.
Just never
seen again.
Not even a body found, nothing.
No body found, nothing like that.
Okay, where did he hijack the plane, or where did he...
So yeah, he was on a flight between Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington on Thanksgiving Eve, no less.
So a plane that's taking... It's all over land, so we're not traveling over any ocean here.
No water, no.
Okay, fair enough.
Flight 305, a 30-minute trip from Portland to Seattle.
A 30-minute trip to nothing, basically. Going from Belfast to Dublin by plane.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Nothing at all. So Cooper boarded the aircraft, a Boeing 727, and took seat 18C in the rear of the passenger cabin. He lit a cigarette and ordered a bourbon and soda. Fellow passengers described him as a man in his mid-40s, between 5'10" and 6 foot. He wore a black raincoat, loafers, dark suit. Essentially, he looked like a businessman. He looked like a normal guy. He didn't look like a fucking criminal hacker or hijacker, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
At approximately, the plane was approximately 1/3 full when it left Portugal on schedule at 2:50 p.m. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to Florence Schaffner. Schaffner, the flight attendant situated nearest to him. Schaffner assumed that the note contained a lonely businessman's phone number and dropped it unopened into her purse.
Oh.
Cooper leaned toward her and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb."
What?
Yeah. So things get interesting, of course.
What a badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine just saying, like,
yeah,
you want to look at that.
Miss,
wait, this is 1971.
1971, right?
So it's not even like that old. Do you know what I mean?
No, like, I mean, it's modern enough that planes were like commercial. Like people were flying places in airplanes, like, so yeah, it's pretty mad. Like, But this is obviously way before 9/11 and the antics. Like, you could get away with so much on planes. Like, he was smoking a cigarette, for example. You know, like,
that's right.
It was these times, like, laws in the era were quite limited. Excuse me. Cooper told her to sit beside him, and she did as requested, then quietly asked to see the bomb. He opened his briefcase long enough for her to see, and she described seeing 8 red cylinders attached to wires encoded with red insulation. So pretty what you would expect a bomb looks like. Yeah. After closing the briefcase, he stated his demands: $200,000 in negotiable American currency, 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the aircraft upon arrival. She conveyed her Cooper's instructions to the pilots in the cockpit, and when she returned, Cooper was wearing dark sunglasses.
Wow.
So the pilots contacted air traffic control and informed the demands and passed it all on. And they had to, what do you call that, taxi? No, not taxi. They had to circle the airport for nearly 2 hours while on the ground everyone was like sorting out his demands.
Okay.
They told the passengers on the plane that it was just like a mechanical issue. They didn't let on that there was a bomb on the plane, essentially.
People would be jumping.
So Schaffner recalled Cooper appeared familiar with the local terrain. He knew whereabouts he wasn't from the air. He talked about, like, there's Tacoma down there. He knew about sort of the distances. So for all intents and purposes, a local guy.
Okay.
So the FBI agents on the ground, they got the ransom money together. They got the...
How much was he after again?
$200,000 in unmarked $20 bills.
Okay.
So whenever he was informed that his demands had been met, he told the pilots to land the plane in Seattle. And at 5:24 p.m., the aircraft landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. It was more than an hour after sunset, and Cooper instructed Scott to taxi the jet to an isolated, brightly lit section of the apron and close each window shade to deter police snipers.
What? So he's literally guiding a plane that I'm assuming now that the airport's probably full and the ground's full of like police, SWAT,
he's kind of watching out. He put it in a nice sort of like isolated area.
Wow.
Try to avoid all
badass.
that. He informed the flight attendant to get the plane refueled, and during refueling, he outlined his flight plan to the cockpit crew. He set a southeast course towards Mexico City at the minimum airspeed possible without stalling the aircraft, approximately 100 knots.
So he knew his stuff.
He knew his stuff.
Okay.
He was telling the pilots what to do, essentially. Like, he told them to. He specified that the landing gear remained deployed in the takeoff landing position throughout the flight. He even gave them the degrees that the wing flaps should be lowered at.
Okay.
He literally gave them that much detail.
Cooper, you don't get that through just reading either. You get that through experience. You know? This
is kind of the thing that they kind of building a profile of this guy that they do later to try and work out like exactly what he was doing.
Wow. So he's just hijacked a plane, demanded $200,000, put the plane down, got it refueled, and now he's telling the pilots exactly how to fly it towards Mexico.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
So the rest of the passengers...
And he has his money at this point.
The money was given to him through like the aft stairwell or whatever.
Yeah.
And the passengers were allowed to leave. So at this point, it's only him and the crew on the plane.
Wow.
At approximately 7:40 p.m., the Boeing 727 takes off with only 5 people on board. Cooper, the pilot, flight attendant...
But he only has how many parachutes?
4.
What?
Only has 4 parachutes.
This is just interesting.
It is. It's very interesting, isn't it? Like what he did.
What is he doing?
Well, here we go, Chris. Overall, there were 5 planes in total trailing the hijacked plane. Not a single one of them reportedly saw him jump, and none of them could pinpoint a location where he could have landed. After takeoff, Cooper told the pilot to join the rest of the crew in the cockpit, or the attendant to join the rest of the crew in the cockpit and remain there with the door closed. As she complied, Mucklow observed Cooper tying something around his waist. At approximately 8 p.m., a warning light flashed in the cockpit, indicating that the aft air stair apparatus had been activated. The crew's offer of assistance via the intercom system was curtly refused. The crew soon noticed a subjective change in air pressure, indicating that the aft door was open.
So at this point, he had that. This is whenever they're starting to, like he's got to jump basically.
Exactly.
So he's getting ready.
Essentially, yeah. So from the perspective of the crew, they can't see because they're locked in the cockpit, obviously. Yeah. But they know that the door at the back of the plane essentially is open.
Wow. Okay.
At approximately 8:13 p.m., the aircraft's tail section sustained a sudden upward movement significant enough to require trimming to bring the plane back to level flight. And at 10:15 p.m., the aircraft's aft air stair was still deployed when they landed the 727 at Reno Airport in Nevada. Excuse me. FBI agents, state troopers, sheriff deputies, and Reno police surrounded the jet as it had not yet been determined with certainty that Cooper was no longer aboard, but an armed search quickly confirmed his absence. So the plane has now landed in Nevada.
Shit.
Cooper,
and he's not on board.
He is not on board.
Wow.
So obviously this is just insane. So they have to immediately begin an investigation.
Do they know where? Sorry. Do they know where he jumped? Do they know?
They know approximately.
They know where he opened the door.
Yeah, the time. They know the time that he opened the door.
But that door could have been open for like 40 minutes.
Exactly. You don't know when he jumped. It's exactly when he jumped.
Oh my goodness.
So they started investigating and like searching for people and getting suspects rounded up as soon as they possibly could.
Yeah.
As you say, a precise search of the area was difficult to define, as even small difference in estimates in the aircraft's speed, environmental conditions essentially, changed Cooper's projected landing point considerably. An important variable was the length of time he remained in the free fall before pulling his ripcord, if indeed he succeeded in opening the parachute at all. So, like, so many different variables. Even if he jumped immediately, even if they knew exactly when he jumped, it would make a massive difference if he
pulled the cord straight away, or if he didn't pull it for like 30 seconds afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So, well, if you hadn't have pulled the cord, or if you surely they would have like an area to look for just a body at this point.
Well, it's a very wide area, is what they're saying, in order to try and find this. Initial extrapolations placed his landing zone within an area on the southernmost outreach of Mount St. Helens.
So it's all mountain. It's a mountainous region.
It's a mountainous region. So I'll kind of skip on here. A month after the hijacking, the FBI distributed lists of the ransom serial numbers to financial institutions. So these are the serial numbers on the notes that were given to him to try and track down when the money was used. And offered a reward of 15% of the recovered money, up to a maximum of $25,000 to anyone who actually picked up on it. In early 1973, so 2 years later, the ransom money was still missing.
What? Maybe he just decided to sleep on it. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to do this, and I have to keep the money for like 5 years.
Exactly. Or if you find the right people to wash, launder the money through.
Yeah.
You know. So like,
it
might go noticed for a long time.
And he was heading towards Mexico.
Well, this is the thing. He told the flight to go to Mexico,
but he could have jumped at any point.
He jumped He jumped at like 8:13. They landed in Reno at 10, so 2 hours later.
Shit.
So he jumped pretty early into like the second takeoff. Subsequent analysis indicated the original landing zone estimate was inaccurate. Scott, or whoever was like recreating it, was flying at the wrong airspeed. The later data indicated the wind direction factored into the drop zone calculations had been wrong. Essentially, they hadn't guessed right where he would have landed. So the search was just essentially going to be completely useless. In July 8th, 2016, the FBI announced that it was suspending active investigation of the Cooper case. So 2016 is when they were actively investigating the search for D.B Cooper.
What?
So that's some like 1971.
Why did it take so long?
It took so, I don't know why, to be honest with you.
2016 from 71, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 46 years later.
Yeah.
Man could be dead. What age was he?
He was described as being in his mid-40s.
So he's probably dead.
He probably will be dead. But they had to keep the search open.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they would still accept physical evidence, but like they weren't pursuing active investigation anymore.
So a man literally... In 1971, let me see if I got the full story. In 1971, a man got on board a plane, a 30-minute flight, said to the flight attendant, "I have a bomb." He made a list of demands to the crew, who relayed them to the FBI or whoever was on the ground.
Yep.
A demand of $200,000 US dollars. He also had a crew or whatever ready to refuel the plane when he landed in Washington, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
which is way on the west side, west coast. When it was refueled, then the plane, he got everybody off board. He got his money. Yep. No SWAT teams or police came onto the plane, but they were obviously surrounded or whatever. And he got them to take off under his instruction and fly at a certain speed, a certain altitude, in a certain way towards Mexico. Yep. And shortly after that, the back door of the plane, he got all the crew to go into the cockpit. He opened the back door of the plane, which was open for God knows how long. Yeah. And he had a parachute, so we assume he jumped.
At some point he jumped. We assume at some point he jumped, okay?
And he's never been found dead or alive.
He's never been found dead or alive. So there's been some sort of... They were trying to find out who exactly D.B Cooper was.
Do they know anything about him beforehand?
This is it. He was a perfect
like a model citizen.
Yeah, when he walked in. Like, no one knew. There was nothing definitive about him at all. Like, he was just a standard dude. Some people think, like, the fact that he never spent the money was never picked up if he lived. You know, if he survived this jump. Some people think that he might have been a thrill seeker. He might have just done it because he thought he could do it.
Did they ask to trace the money straight away?
No,
it
was a while before they traced the money.
So he could have landed and had that money all washed through or whatever.
Possibly. It's hard to know. Evidence suggested that Cooper was knowledgeable about technique, aircraft, and the terrain. He demanded 4 parachutes to force the assumption that he might compel one or more of the hostages to jump with him, thus ensuring he would not be deliberately supplied with a sabotaged parachute. So he knew to ask for 4 so that they couldn't give him a bad one if he did decide to jump. Yeah. He chose a 727 aircraft because it was ideal for a bailout escape, not only because the aft air stair could open, but also because of the high aftward placement of all 3 engines, which meant that if he did jump, he wouldn't
be anywhere near the engines. Basically, he'd be clean. Straight into a fucking engine.
It had a single point refueling capability, which meant that it could be refueled rapidly through a single fuel port.
Yeah, because they touched down, it was refueled.
Yeah, and refueled quickly so he could take off quickly. It also had the ability, unusual for a commercial jet airliner, to remain in slow, low altitude flight without stalling. So he knew that this plane was ideal for him to go slowly, low enough altitude.
100 knots isn't very fast.
It's pretty slow, yeah. So that gives him the best chance to be able to jump
and live.
He was familiar with important details such as the appropriate flap setting of 15 degrees, which was unique to that aircraft. Typical refueling time. He knew the air star could be lowered during flight.
So he did his research.
He did his research. He knew the aft air star could be lowered during flight, a fact never disclosed to civilian flight crews. So he knew something that civilian flight crews wouldn't normally know.
Did he work? Did it say like what his job was beforehand? Did he work for like an airline? Did he work at an airport?
Nobody knows. No one knows who he is. D.B Cooper.
Surely the FBI have something on this guy.
Well, like he gave his name. His name was Dan Cooper or D.B Cooper, and
what a cool name as well.
I know, right? It just sounds like a cool dude.
This is just so strange because like, how does someone do that? Like, surely he's dead.
Well, this is it. Okay, so although unconsciously perilous. Word, by high safety training and equipment standards of skydivers. So the jump was really dangerous, insanely dangerous. Whether or not it was virtually suicidal is a matter of dispute. So the author of an overview comparison of World War II aircraft bailouts and his drop, he suggests that
because they would have been like doing like some crazy fucking jumps in the World War.
Well, this is it. Like he suggests that he would have lost the ransom during the drop.
Yeah. Although didn't it say that he was seen tying something around his waist?
Yeah,
maybe he was tying the briefcase or the ransom, whatever it was.
They sort of think that the coming down of
too much force.
Yeah, it would have just like completely. They think it would have killed him almost.
Maybe that's why he never spent it. Maybe he lived but never had the ransom.
The FBI, the Bureau, were more skeptical, concluding Cooper lacked crucial skydiving skills and experience. They thought he was an experienced jumper, but concluded a few years later that it was not true. No experienced parachutist would have jumped in pitch black night, in the rain, with 200-mile-an-hour wind in his face, wearing loafers and a trench coat. Simply too risky. He also missed that his reserve chute was only for training and had been sewn shut, so he missed that the reserve chute wouldn't have actually deployed.
So that was just a massive risk on its own.
Well, yeah, but
if he knew this.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness.
It chose to jump with an older and technically inferior of the 2 parachutes he was given, and jumped into a minus 57 degree wind chill without proper protection against this extreme cold. The FBI speculated from the beginning he did not survive the jump, and that diving into the wilderness without a plan, without the right equipment, in such terrible conditions, he probably never even got his chute open. Even if he did land safely, agents contend that survival in the mountainous terrain at the onset of winter would have been all but impossible without an accomplice at a predetermined landing point. This would have required a precisely timed jump, necessitating in turn cooperation from the flight crew, which he didn't get. There's no evidence that Cooper requested or received any such help from his crew.
Yeah, so like to say that he had someone waiting on him on the ground is pretty stupid, because there's no way he could have determined whereabouts he would have landed.
Exactly. Wow. So sort of they described the jump as a pure suicide.
Suicide.
However, if he did die after the jump or during the jump and came down crashing to earth, the body was never recovered.
Was it into ocean?
No, couldn't have been over an ocean. It was never recovered, and there was
Where's this man?
There was a manhunt to find it. So, you know,
where is this man?
Did he make it?
God, that's impressive. Could it be done nowadays?
So in 1980, Cash Discovery launched several new rounds of conjecture and ultimately raised more questions than it answered. Initial statements by investigators and scientific consultants were founded on the assumption that the bundled bills. I missed a part. So the money was found.
It was found.
The money was found quite a few years later. Let me just pick that up for you, Chris. Oh, jeepers.
Still in briefcase? I assume money is in the briefcase. Money's almost in the briefcase.
In February 1980, 8-year-old Brian Ingram was vacationing with his family on the Columbia River at a beachfront known as Tina Bar, about 9 miles downstream from Vancouver, Washington. The child uncovered 3 packets of the ransom cash as he raked the sandy riverbank to build a campfire. The bills were significantly disintegrated, but still bundled in rubber bands. So they were still in the bands that they would have been when they were set under the ransom. The child uncovered 3 packets. Sorry.
So he did jump.
2 packets of $120 bills each, and a third packet of 90, all arranged in the same order as when given to Cooper. In 1986, after protracted negotiations, the recovered bills were divided equally between Ingram and Northwest Orient's insurer. And 14 examples remained in evidence. To date, none of the 9,710 remaining bills have turned up anywhere in the world. Their serial numbers remain available online for public search. The Columbia River ransom money and air stair instruction placard remain the only confirmed physical evidence from the hijacking ever found outside the aircraft. In 2017, a group of volunteer investigators uncovered what they believe to be potential evidence, what appears to be decades-old parachute strap in the Pacific Northwest. This was followed later in August 2017 with a piece of foam suspected of being part of Cooper's backpack. So this was found on the ground.
In the Pacific Northwest.
In the Pacific Northwest. So in the right area, and they don't know, they can't confirm. And as I said there a second ago, finding the bills only just made things worse. They can't confirm anything. Yeah, he could have thrown half the money away. Could have thrown all the money away. Yeah. Could have lost some of the money. What do you like lost all of the money?
What do you believe happened?
Well, Chris, I don't know.
What I like to believe is he's safe and well.
This is it.
What I think anybody would like to believe is he's safe and well.
Yeah. Well,
living out his days.
When you think about it, the guy stole money, but he did it in such a way, he did it in such a
he didn't just do it in a normal I'm going to rob a bank way.
No, yeah,
he hijacked a plane and suicidal jump.
Yeah,
in the dead of night.
But it's the way he sat in the chair with his suit on, wearing a pair of loafers, sunglasses.
Just with a briefcase with a bomb, a supposed bomb.
Probably
wasn't a bomb at all.
The bomb was never recovered either. It's just mad, that he did this. First of all, that he did this, and that he was never found.
I'm so happy he did.
I think realistically speaking, I think he probably died.
And this isn't like some bullshit made up thing either. Just a load of people got together and just ran with this story.
This happened. There's witnesses. There's the people in the cockpit. This happened. People on the ground in Reno. People on the ground in Seattle. This happened.
He just hijacked a plane with 200,000 and never seen again. Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
I find that so hard to believe. Dead or alive, they still haven't uncovered anything, because they always uncover it. They always uncover something.
You find you knew there was a body that dropped. So if he died, the body would be found. I think. I don't think he got the money though.
No.
I have a feeling the fact that them bills washed up suggests to me he jumped out of the plane and everything just went.
Yeah.
And if he managed to get his parachute open and landed, then his only game then is just to survive. Get away from this situation and do your best to survive. If they really did find his strap, you know, if they found the strap from the parachute and they found something from his backpack, then that says to me that the man landed and ran.
Yeah.
Because they didn't find a body; they've only found a strap.
Yeah.
So
unless he was eaten by wild animals.
He could have been.
But then where's the bones?
Well, yeah, but they could have dragged it everywhere. Like, I think I don't know if they maybe he was eaten by animals, but I think he didn't get
nowhere near ocean, so he didn't drop a nose.
Excuse me. I think he got away as much as he could have in that situation.
He could have been injured.
Yeah. He could have broke his leg in the fall.
Crawled into a cave and died somewhere. Somebody someday might find him.
This is it. Like, it's out there.
Wow.
So dead or alive.
D.B Cooper never found.
D.B Cooper.
That's crazy.
Never found again. And Chris, if you remember, this is where I initially heard of D.B Cooper in a TV show called Prison Break. One of the old dude from Prison Break, the guy who like helps them out, and at the end, during the prison break, he gets like hit with like a glass thing.
Yes, I do remember.
That's D.B Cooper. In show, that was like he had money hidden. Apparently, he had money hidden somewhere, and they were going to go dig that money up.
No way.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, maybe that's what happened. Maybe D.B Cooper landed on the ground, hid his money, and never got back.
That's just a really fucking interesting story, D. I'm gonna look a little bit into that because that's just interesting.
So it's not necessarily a conspiracy theory, but I like the idea that people out there are going to be wondering and trying to guess what he did and what happened to him, and if he made it or if he didn't.
Wow.
But yeah, those events are true. They happened.
I hope he made it. I'm going to put that in the... so we have a Flopsy and Firm pile of the conspiracy
let's say the conspiracy theory is that D.B Cooper jumped out of the plane, landed alive and well, and kept his money. And somehow managed to launder it and get it into the system and got his payday.
Where would you put that?
I don't think it can go...
I don't think it can go firm.
But I don't think it's a Flopsy theory.
I think maybe half and half straight across the middle.
Put it in the middle.
So
D.B Cooper.
D.B Cooper.
Cooper.
What about Roswell? Where are we putting that? Somewhere.
Depends on what the theory is.
On what the theory is, yeah. Alien UFO. Well, we do know it's UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. We just don't know what the hell it is. Alien UFO, not so sure.
Yeah.
But definitely so an unidentified flying object crashed in Roswell and was covered up.
I think if you're saying it was covered up, it's firm. If you're saying it was an alien body covered up, it's Flopsy. So
we'll put it like here, like is on the Flopsy side.
Roswell. So yeah, the idea that the government is covering something up, I think it's pretty good to say they're doing something there.
Good.
People to know about.
Excellent. 2 interesting tidbits for this.
I enjoyed
conspiracy. I enjoyed that too.
Most of it.
Absolutely. I love that. I love anything that's kind of insightful in any way. Stuff that I didn't know. I like you telling me stuff.
Yeah, we're learning things.
I hope everybody at home, everybody that listened or watched,
at home,
hopefully picked something off of that. So far in our conspiracy theories, we have 1, 2, 3 on the firm pile, being the mattress mafia, the Kennedy assassination, and the abduction of Madeleine McCann. We also have on the Flopsy side the Avril Lavigne is dead theory, and half we have D.B Cooper and Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah. So far, so good. We have so many more conspiracies to get through, stories. Alcatraz. I want to talk about Area 51. There's so much.
There's a lot more.
There's so much.
I'm looking forward to going into it too.
And then obviously the big one so far, which is going to be 9/11. We're just going to have to devote like a whole fucking...
I think so. I think we should probably take like different opinions on
different opinions so we can argue against.
And let the people decide.
Top and bottom of the table.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, let's table it.
Jet fuel can't melt steam beams. God damn it.
Anything else you want to add to this podcast, D, before we close off for the evening? It is 20 to midnight this fine night.
20 minutes to midnight. That's just like a name for a band. Anyway, I had a delicious meal today, Chris. I don't know meal.
What'd you have?
I had they were, what are they called? Pretzel dogs.
That sounds great.
It's like
sounds terrific.
Frankfurt. You know them hot dogs we got in America.
Yep.
It's like little of those.
Are they inside a
wrapped in a pretzel?
Oh my god, where'd you get them?
So fucking good. Aunt
Oh my god, yes, I know that place. They do an amazing cinnamon sugared.
We had those things as well. We had vanilla instead of cinnamon.
Terrific. Was that the one in Castlecourt?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So good.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They do good lemonade as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Well, get the thingy, the hot dogs. Oh, it's so fucking.
See, I'm never really in a mood for like a savoury kind of treat when I walk by there. I usually get sweet, so I go cinnamon.
We got both, so savoury and sweet.
That's a perfect combo.
And the case can be made that the hot dogs are savoury and sweet because they got the...
Very true, the pretzel and the hot dog.
Yeah, so.
Terrific, well done, D.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I think anyone who's in Belfast doing the Christmas shopping or whatever, nip into Auntie Anne's.
Primark's back open as well, isn't it?
As of this morning, apparently.
As of this morning. That'll be news for next week. We'll touch on that, how it's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to add. I got to get up in like 5 hours for work.
Do you?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, like first thing in the morning.
I didn't realise that.
No, I was just like, I'll do the early shift. Get away early on the Sunday.
I suppose that
I
is
hate
nice.
Sundays.
That is nice. I have
And
Monday
retail.
off.
You have Monday off?
Monday off
Oh, you
again.
lucky bastard.
I
I'm
know.
not off again until Thursday.
Grim.
Thursday, Friday I have off together. So
Okay.
it's not
so
too bad, yeah.
Do you get your next weekend off now?
Following weekend, no. I have like,
When are you going to get the Crimbo shopping done, lad?
I don't know. I've started online. I've only just started
Fair
online.
enough.
But I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get it done or where I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a last minute job again. I know what I have to get. It's just a matter of getting it.
Yeah, it's, you're putting the time in to get it.
And then there's like that £50 set aside for Smash if I go for Smash. And I'm just so unsure as to what to do. I have enough to play.
Will that be your Christmas game? You normally get a game to play over Christmas.
I do.
It could be Smash.
Possibly actually, yeah, maybe Red Dead.
I'm thinking Red Dead.
I still want to see what Red Dead's like,
Yeah.
but at this point I'm just like, oh,
Do I have the time?
I know exactly. No, I
Yeah.
don't. I definitely don't. And Final Fantasy VII is on that classic PlayStation.
PS, yeah.
And Sinker's been telling me to play it. I'm just like, man, it's Final Fantasy VII. It's more than likely turn-based. Is it turn-based? I'll more than likely not play it then.
Oh dear.
I will pick up Pokemon and that will be my turn-based.
Will you get?
Let's go Pikachu.
yeah.
Yes, 100%. Not
Cool.
Let's go Eevee. Let's go Pikachu.
Oh no, of course. Let's go. Pikachu.
Yeah, I'll get that 100%. But no, I have no other
Fair enough.
inklings to play or buy anything. I'm going to
Fair
enjoy some Battlefield, and when I go online, I will let you know.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to play something together.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think we have any games
I don't
together.
have Battlefield.
I don't have Black Ops.
We'll work.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
We'll play Mario Kart.
Perfect.
That's what we'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for finding this podcast. We hope it has found you well. Remember, you can find the video version over at youtube.com/xgaming. And if you're watching the video version, remember, you can take us with you on the go using SoundCloud, iTunes, Audio Boom, Stitcher, Apple, anything, everything. Oh, no, not SoundCloud?
No SoundCloud.
Oh, no SoundCloud. That's right. We don't do SoundCloud
There's
anymore.
one episode on SoundCloud.
Yep. We should update that.
Aye.
I'll update that. I'll not update it.
Home of the Empty Promise.
Thank you so much to everybody, though, that has tuned in on the weekly basis, writing to us, getting in touch with us, interacting with the stories that we put up, everything. We are now in the big run into Christmas Day. 3 weeks left.
It's getting intense.
3 podcasts left, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be right. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, here. What about our Christmas films?
Oh, yes.
Just give me one, quick and dirty.
Home Alone, because
Fuck you, man.
why?
I should have went first.
Why? What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say Home Alone. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Home Alone, because I don't want to touch on my favorite just yet. Home Alone's not my favorite.
Oh no?
No.
Okay, we'll get to the favorites like our last week. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna say Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, that's a good one as well.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
Is it Christmas or Halloween?
It's a crossover. It's a fusion.
It should be hitting November.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Can't think of anything else to say.
No.
We'll see you all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed next week.
All right.
Goodbye and God bless. See you then.
Bye bye.
Do
Do you gotta pee? I gotta pee.